Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I thought it would be cool to take a look at what Twisted gets right about storm chasing, and maybe what is simply fiction. This summer I had a chance to chase with Tiv Team, and having played so much of Twisted already, I had picked up on some interesting parallels. So let's see how well Twisted represents real life. It should be mentioned right from the start that just because you can play Twisted or any storm chasing game, it doesn't mean you can just go out and chase real tornadoes. There's real danger involved, and it should only be attempted by professionals. That being said, this is simply a fun video to draw parallels from real life to a somewhat accurate video game. Twisted, from what I've seen, has a complex storm generation system with unique storm shapes on each weathered day based on thermodynamic conditions. This can clearly be seen on radar, as each storm can vary in size, shape, and intensity. With that intensity comes rain, hail, and heavy winds. However, off radar, things start to change. If you've ever been chasing in the game and end up having to drive all the way across the map to get to the next storm, you might notice the whole storm is actually an updraft. While I have been told that this is changing, as I'm making this video, this storm system is currently in-game. Now, unfortunately, this is not what a classic Supercell looks like. They actually look something like this. This was a classic Supercell I had the fortune of witnessing during my chasecation in May. As you can see, there's really only one defined updraft in this image, and it rises up to form an anvil shape, which then flattens out over top of the storm in the direction that the storm is going. And that's where a lot of the hail and heavy rain drops down from the storm. And then at the base of the updraft is where you'd expect to see your tornado. So hopefully the storm structure will change in future updates. When I first started playing Twisted, I didn't expect to see such a parallel to real life from a Roblox storm chasing game. But yes, the chasing activities in Twisted, for a large part, are pretty close to how it is in real life. When you spawn into Twisted, especially as a new player, getting gas, repairing vehicles, and dealing with heavy equipment costs are real factors to storm chasing that I personally think Twisted nailed. Damage to your vehicle is almost inevitable in chasing, both in Twisted and in real life, especially if you intend on getting close. Whether it be new car parts, hail dents, it'll cost you for a repair, and if you decide, what the heck, I don't need that, it will hurt your vehicle's performance in real life and in Twisted. Now, in many servers, especially on days of moderate or high risks, chaser convergence is going to be inevitable. While you might not see 5 Tivs and 3 Dominators at a gas station in real life, if you're in the target area for severe weather, you're bound to meet other chasers prior to storm initiation. And when the storms do eventually fire off, oh boy, it's chaos. In Twisted, you might see a convoy of 10 chasers rushing to a storm. This is very accurate to real life, and sometimes on very congested days, it can cause traffic jams. And it's not just chaser convergence you have to worry about. The terrain is also a critical element to chasing storms. Twisted's map is probably one of my favorite maps from any storm chasing game. The reason being the level of detail and complexity from each sector. Sometimes you get to chase in a well-gridded road system with little trees and open fields, and sometimes, if you dare, you chase in the hills with tall trees obstructing your view. This is another great parallel to real life, as these are the types of chase terrain real chasers deal with on a daily basis. In an ideal situation, you would want to have a clear, unobstructed view of the tornado or storm structure. Not only to get great video, but also to stay safe. Radar can only tell you so much, it's half the battle. The other half is having a visual on the storm. A good example of good chase terrain in Twisted would be the western and southern portions of the map. Open roads, good visibility, and light tree coverage. While a bad example of good chase terrain would be the area around Sneed. Hills, trees, and massive power lines. These are going to inhibit your view of the tornado or storm And if it's at night, I wish you the best of luck. Another thing to take into consideration is how the tornadoes behave. Are they strong, weak, large, small, fast, or slow? These factors also affect the way you chase both in-game and in real life. For example, during one of our chase days, we went up to Iowa and experienced 60 to 70 mile an hour storm motion. We had to be way ahead of these storms to at least be able to stop and get a shot of them. And this is a convenient segue into the last part of this video, which is probably what you've been waiting for. How do the tornadoes in Twisted compare to real life? And I have to say, surprisingly well. When a tornado begins to form in both Twisted and in real life, it starts with a lowering called a wall cloud. When this wall cloud develops, it has another structure feeding into it called a tail cloud. Both have been represented in Twisted. From there, if the conditions continue to improve, a funnel will drop from the wall cloud, and in some cases, that's all that might happen. And in others, it might fully condense to the ground, like this footage from Fort Stockton, Texas. Both types of tornadoes are represented in-game, along with multi-vortex, sidewinding, and wedges. However, there is one factor of chasing that Twisted leaves out for gameplay purposes. Not all storms produce tornadoes. Now, in Twisted, almost every storm produces a tornado, and this is simply so that people that are playing the game don't get bored easily. It is designed to be a game after all. So there it is, Twisted versus real life. Now that was only my experience, others may agree and disagree on some of these points. If so, let me know in the comments below. But if you've enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and a comment, and I'll see you all next time, guys. Goodbye.